What's up, everybody? It's your man's KJ the Great, dropping another edition of All Sports Media TV. But first, I want to say, I hope and pray everything is great your way. Now, yes, y'all. The year has coming to an end. I know I said it in the last video, so I gotta say it in this one. 2023 is over. And what a year it was for boxing. What a year it was for women's boxing as well. We saw some great matchups. We saw some upsets. We saw some comebacks. Man, we saw it all. So, right now, I'm about to talk about the top 10 pound for pound women in the world. Starting at number 10, we got the former undisputed welterweight champion, Jessica McCaskill. She's unified welterweight champion right now. Her last two fights, she had a unanimous decision and a split decision draw. So it was a bit of a setback year for her. She dropped her titles as she moved to a different weight to challenge Chantelle Cameron, and she ended up losing that fight. And this year it was just a little bit of a setback. But 12 wins, 3 losses, 1 draw with 5 wins by way of knockout. She's still in my top 10 pound for pound. Now, let's talk about number 9. We got Franchon Cruz, Design, the heavy-hitting diva. She is 9 wins, 2 losses, 9 wins, 2 losses, no draw, with 2 wins by way of knockout. She is now your current WBC super middleweight champion, 2-time WBC super middleweight champion, I shall say. And she suffered a loss back in she lost to Savannah Marshall, I believe, back in July, around that time. She lost a majority decision to it was July, yeah. She lost a majority decision to Savannah Marshall. A lot of people thought it was in her favor. Well, I wouldn't say a lot of people, some people, but a lot of other people thought it was a unanimous decision in Savannah Marshall's favor. All in all, it was a decent fight. But she bounced back and she ended up winning a unanimous decision over the Sweet Terminator, Shadacia Green. I personally thought Shadacia Green was going to win that fight. I had her pegged as the favorite and to go on to beat Savannah Marshall for undisputed and eventually challenge Clarissa Shields. But, she suffered a setback. It's okay. Congratulations to Franchon Cruz. Now, let's talk about number 8. We got former champion, who is now a welterweight title contender, Mikaela Mayer. She is 19 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 5 wins by way of knockout. Now, we all know her famed bout that she had with Alicia the Bomb Bomb Gardner, who I'm not going to include on this list until she gets, everything taken care of and under wraps with her allegations and whatnot. But she ended up losing that fight. It was a close fight. A lot of people thought it could have been in her favor, Mikaela Mayer's favor. But since then, she's reeled off win after win after win. Her last fight was in September. She got a unanimous decision, and it was good showing. So now she's set to challenge Natasha Jonas for her IBF welterweight title in January. I believe it's January 20th or the 28th, somewhere around there. Now, let's talk about it. Number 7, the lady I just mentioned, Natasha Jonas, the IBF welterweight champion, who is 14 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. Her last fight was a KO stoppage in July. That was on the undercard of Savannah Marshall and Franchon Cruz. Man, that was a very interesting night, though. Franchon Cruz come out there to fight, and she sung the national anthem. That was all weird. But nonetheless, Natasha Jonas comes in as number 7 on my list. She wasn't on this list, I believe, last year. I can't fully remember from that video, but if you remember, go back and check it out and let me know. She's a good fighter. I believe she's 38, 39 years of age. So we're going to see how that fight with her and Mikaela Mayer plays out. 2 top 10 pound for pound ladies going at it. Coming in at number 6 is the silent assassin, Savannah Marshall. 13 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 10 wins by way of knockout. As I said before, she got that majority decision win over Franchon Cruz back in July. That came after she had a unanimous decision loss to the GWOAT 3-division world champion Clarissa Shields. So she bounced back in a major way. Although that was her only fight this year, she had to get surgery on her hand. She ended up signing a deal with the PFL to fight in MMA at some point in 2024. So we have to see what's going to take place with that, because the winner of Shadeja Green versus Franchon Cruz was ordered to face Savannah Marshall. I believe that fight will take place early spring sometime next year, and then late next year, 2024, we may see Savannah Marshall, if she's healthy, in the PFL fighting in MMA. Don't know, but we will see. Now, let's round out the top 5. We got unified champion Senicia Estrada, one of my favorite fighters to watch. Mini weight, strong weight, I believe is what they call it. She is 24 wins, no losses, no draw, 9 wins by way of knockout. Her last fight was a unanimous decision back March 25th. It was a close chip nip and tuck fight. The other person, what is her name? I can't think of the lady's name. I believe she's Filipino, but she holds the other title for her to go undisputed. They're looking to get that fight set. Senicia Estrada, she ended up having to get surgery on her hand as well this year. So she was out of the ring after that. She's looking to make her ring return early next year. So let's see what's in store for her. Now, we got number 4 on this list. A lot of people believe she should be higher on this list. I think she could be, but, it's okay. She took a recent loss. It's none other than Chantelle Cameron, who is 18 wins, 1 loss, no draw, 8 wins by way of knockout. She gave Katie Taylor the best, probably one of the best fights she's had in a long time. All the work you can ask for. She ended up beating Katie Taylor in her hometown. It was supposed to be what some people viewed as a tune-up, but no, she came to fight, and she won a majority decision the first time. They ran it back. That threw a wrench in Katie Taylor's plans for a rematch with Amanda Serrano, but they ran it back November 25th, and it was another majority decision, and Katie Taylor squeaked that one out. So look for Chantelle Cameron to go after that in a trilogy early sometime, probably late spring. I'm going to say late spring. Well, we say early spring sometime. We'll work with that. But that's my number 4 fighter right there. Now, my number 3 fighter is the one I just mentioned, Katie Taylor. Now, we all know she had that win over Amanda Serrano that a lot of people wanted to see them run it back because they were explosive at Madison Square Garden. But Amanda Serrano ended up getting hurt in camp, and then Katie Taylor wanted to stay busy. She fought Chantelle Cameron. She took a loss, ran it back, and then she won, all by majority decision in her hometown. So now they're going to set that trilogy up. Let's go, DAZN. Make it happen. All right. Rounding out at number 2. Number 2. Yeah, rounding out at number 2, I'm going to say is Clarissa the GWOAT Shields. Now, a lot of people are saying, man, shouldn't she be number 1 on your list? I think she should be number 1, but she only fought once this year. She fought June 3rd and got a unanimous decision over Marcela Carnejo. She was originally scheduled to face Hannah Gabriels, but Hannah Gabriels tested positive for banned substances, and she's going through the motions of getting everything cleared up as well. So there's no big deal with that. Clarissa Shields is 14 wins, no losses, no draws, 2 wins by way of knockout. She's still the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. She became undisputed twice at the same weight when she beat Savannah Marshall. As we all know, she was undisputed at 154, unified at 168. The lady is great. She's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, 77-1 in the amateurs. She's 1-1 in the PFL and MMA, and she should be making her return to the PFL in February. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my number 2. And my number 1 goes to the real deal, Amanda Serrano, who is 46 wins, 2 losses, 1 draw, 30 wins by way of knockout. She has been on a tear this year. She fought 3 times this year. And one of those times was a 12-round, 3-minute per round fight. Awesome. She fought well. Definitely. That was her last fight in October 27th. And she vacated, excuse me, she vacated her WBC title because they would not sanction the fight. So she kept it pushing. The WBA, WBO, IBF, IBO, and Ring Magazine titles were on the line. This woman has been boxing. She got 3 unanimous decisions in 1 year. So how is she not pound for pound number one? She's pound for pound number one right now. That's just for right now. 2024, we look to see some explosive stuff going on. As we know, she was also talking about getting back into MMA as well, along with the PFL, because the PFL is blowing up right now. They bought out Bellator. They signed Jake Paul. They signed Clarissa Shields. They signed Savannah Marshall. They're looking to sign Amanda Serrano, and they definitely going to be blowing up because they already signed up Francis Ngannou as he's looking to make his debut in the PFL. We about to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's my top 10 pound for pound fighters in the world. Now, performance of the year, I'm going to say for the women, performance of the year was Chantelle Cameron. Nobody expected that. She went in there and fought her tail off. We say fought both times, fought her tail off. It was great. The first fight, though, for the first fight, performance of the year, handing Katie Taylor, first loss of her career. Now, fight of the year goes to that same fight. Taylor versus Cameron won. That's my opinion. I feel like that was the best female fight of the whole year. I actually still got the video. YouTube took it down, but I still got the video. It was, I had almost 2,000 people chiming in that video. Millions of people across the world was watching that fight. It was nip and tuck back and forth. It was crazy. It was a good fight. Now, let's talk. Fighter of the year for the women is none other than the pound for pound number one lady, Amanda the Real Deal Serrano. Like I said before, she fought 3 times this year, all unanimous decisions, unanimous decision in 2 10-round fights, and those were 2 minutes per round. She got a unanimous decision in she became undisputed this year, and then she got the unanimous decision against Danilo Ramos. It was a 12-round, 3-minute fight, 3-minute per round fight. So that's my top 10 pound for pound performance fight and fighter of the year for the ladies. So yes, I want to know who you think should be on this list, who you think should be higher, if you think somebody else should be number one. Why don't you guys let me know? But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you guys. 2024, we going way up. Peace.